Welcome back, guys. Sherry here. Now, Breath of the Wild is an incredible open world game, but there's just a lot of things about the game that they don't tell you, and it's left up to you to figure it out. So I decided to put a few things together that I wish I would have known earlier when I started playing the game. And I guess the number one thing is to investigate. Investigate anything that looks unusual or out of place. Just like right here. If you see a bunch of seagulls or just something that looks interesting or just doesn't look quite right, you need to check it out because you just never really know what you might find. And here we found a bunch of porgies. And guys, these will respawn. Just like most things do in the open world. Your fruit will respawn, your ore and your stones will respawn. Of course, the enemies respawn, and I just use the blood moon as a good indicator. So when I do harvest something or I go fishing for something, typically those will respawn in the exact same spot. Chuchu jellies. We find these all over Hyrule, and the blue ones are the easiest ones to find. But when upgrading armor, sometimes we need the other colors. We need the red, yellow, and white. Well, I don't know if you're aware or if you knew. I wish I would have known sooner. But you can actually change the blue ones into any color that you need. If you need the yellow ones, drop them in some water. But now be careful here. Only do 10 at a time. If you throw out more than 10, they're going to disappear. But then just shoot a shock arrow next to them. Be careful, don't hit them, but just shoot it right next to them and you'll have yellow choo-choos. Now to get the red ones, we just want to drop them on top of a fire. Now you can only do 5 at a time because these turn instantly, and if you leave them too long, they're going to disintegrate. But you can just toss them right on a fire and you'll instantly have red choo-choos. Now to get the white ones, it's a little more tricky because we have to drop these in freezing ice cold water. But however, the water's going to freeze you too, no matter what kind of armor you have on. So you can still do it, you just need to throw them in the water and find a way to stop them and collect them. I found it easier just to build a couple of ice pillars, toss them in the water, let the pillars stop them, and then just climb down and collect them. Pebblets. I wish I would have known sooner that you can pick these little guys up. There's 3 different kinds. There's a stone, there's igneo, and there's a frost. Now, I used to run from them and try to turn around and toss a bomb on them, so I just kind of wish I would have known that a lot sooner. Now, to be able to pick up the igneo and the frost pebblets, you got to have the armor. You need to have the Flamebreaker armor, and you need to have the Snow Quill armor. And both of them need to be enhanced twice by a fairy so that you can receive a set bonus. The Flamebreaker armor is going to give you a fireproof bonus, and the Snow Quill is going to give you an unfreezable bonus. But you have to have the full set, and each piece needs to be enhanced twice by a fairy to be able to receive these set bonuses. Octoroks. I used to hate these things. I used to try to hit them with an arrow or try to turn and throw a bomb on them. I just never could get them timed right. So a better way that I found, which works for me, is just to run up on them, cut the tops off, causing them to jump out of the ground, and then hit them. However, the rock Octoroks, you can easily kill them with a bomb, but you may not want to. These little guys can actually take a rusty weapon and turn it into a good weapon. If you happen to have some rusty weapons, just throw it at them while they're sucking the wind in, and then they will actually spit out a good weapon. Now, sometimes the weapons can vary for whichever rusty weapon you happen to throw, but like here, I ended up getting a knight's halberd. But then I did it a couple more times, and I ended up getting a traveler's spear. So you just never really know what they're going to spit back out at you. I did the same thing with a rusty broadsword, and I ended up with a royal broadsword. And this is just something that may come in handy, like before the Trials of the Sword. Something I wish I would have known sooner. Another thing too is you actually don't have to sneak up on these guys. You can throw a bomb at them, knock them a little silly, and then you can grab them. And if you find yourself surrounded by these guys, you only have to kill one, and then the rest of them will just run away. And something else that I really wish I would have known, like right when I started playing Breath of the Wild, is that you can pretty much get unlimited arrows from almost anywhere. Any enemies that are shooting arrows at you, if you just kind of run around and collect their arrows, until they stop respawning. You can usually collect anywhere from 5 or 6 from each one that's shooting an arrow. But if you collect all of those and they stop respawning, all you have to do is run away from them and get them to where you can't see them in your line of sight. And then when they disappear, just go back, get their attention again, get them to shoot more arrows at you, and you can just run around and collect them. And you can just repeat this over and over again. And you can actually do this right out of Resurrection at the very beginning of the game. But here, as you just saw, they disappeared when I ran to the top of the hill. So now I'm just going to run back down, and the arrows that they shoot will start respawning. And this will work with almost any enemies that are shooting arrows at you, as long as their arrows are spawning. Another way to get arrows and get them fast is to get a multi-shot bow and go right here to the cooking pot in Kara Kara Bazaar and just shoot into the cooking pot and collect your arrows, because it's only going to charge you 1 arrow, but if you've got a 3-shot or a 5-shot, that's how many arrows you're going to pick up. But it's just a great, easy, fast way to get arrows. And another good thing to know in early gameplay is how to kill these tests of strengths, because these guys respawn after a blood moon. This is a great way to collect ancient weaponry and ancient parts. So if you'd like to see a little trick on how to kill one of these guys and take no damage, or how to electrify a Hinox, click here. And I appreciate you guys watching. If you like content like this, show me with a like. If you're new to the channel, I hope you consider subscribing, and I'll just catch you guys next time.